folks. Welcome to another AEW Dynamite review for July 31st, 2024. I'm Conrad Cushman, being joined tonight. This is not Clash of the Podcast, but you're going to get some Clash of the Podcast shenanigans, being joined by my co-host, the one, the only, Sean Hubbard of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly.
Surprise, surprise. What up, though? Happy to be here, brother.
We are going to talk about AEW Dynamite, and I'm actually glad that I got Sean for this show because sometimes we get news for like AEW and sometimes we don't. It's got to be the right week, and I was trying to talk with Sean today, and we were both pretty busy, it seemed like, for work.
Yeah, it was crazy, yeah.
And we didn't get a full chance to dive into the photo heard around the world today in the wrestling world, so we're going to talk a little bit about that as well, and I want to hear what you guys in the chat think about it as well. There's a lot going on, a lot happening in this crazy world of pro wrestling. I'm not going to hold you guys too long. We're going to get into this intro. We're going to start talking a little Dynamite, and then we're going to get into the news for AEW. Let's go.
Everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
Now, Brother Sean, I don't have the graphics up on this side of things, but we have a big event coming up tomorrow on your channel, don't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really excited about it. It's called the WWE Debate. Myself and you will be hosting on my channel, on the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel. It'll be a Clash of the Podcast special presentation on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. As myself and Conrad will be bringing you along for the WWE Debate, along with the final boss, Briscoe, and Malik, a.k.a. Narcolepsy Boy. So we were just finalizing some stuff. You're right, Conrad. I was super busy today, but before I even started my day, early this morning, I sent out the information, so we're all locked in. And like I said, surprise, surprise, you know what I'm saying? So we're together on Monday night, AEW night, and then tomorrow night, man, we're rolling. Big shout out to my guy Derek too as well.
Yeah, shout out to Derek. If you guys don't know, Derek's team won the championship today. He got stuck, and then once he heard about ice cream, that they wanted ice cream, you know how coaches get. They gotta conform. They gotta deliver. If the team delivered, you gotta deliver. So congratulations to Derek and his team, though, for getting the chip. Let's get into the comment section. We have Clown in the house saying, "Evening, everyone."
Good evening.
Clown is also surprised WWE didn't trademark Money Inc. Surprised to hear Sasha's group is going to be called Money Incorporated.
Yeah, for real. I'm surprised about that, too. That was kind of weird.
I think it was because you did the $1 Million Man laugh. I feel like you and Mercedes got some kind of connection going on here. You did that laugh on Monday. Then she was like, I should go. She said, I should go trademark that. And then she was like, wow, they didn't trademark this? I'm taking this name. I think it fits, though. Money Incorporated CEO. We'll get into that when we get into that segment. But, yeah, interesting. We got Sir Quills in the house.
Quilly!
Now, he wrote this beforehand. He said, what up, Conrad? And we're going to put Sean's name in there. Sean and chat and Derek. Your boy, Sir Quills, is back again to enjoy yet another dope AEW Dynamite review. Brother Conrad, Brother Sean, let's get into it. Hashtag EPW, hashtag yo-yo-yo, hashtag trash dookie. Terrell, also in the house. He says he's talking about Tony Khan and Shane McMahon. We are going to get into that and talk about it in a little bit here. But Terrell is predicting that it happens at Grand Slam.
Okay.
We'll see. Matt Lopez.
First time on a Wednesday night? Emma Leezy Fo Sheezy for the first time on a Wednesday night. Hello, good evening. Hope everyone had a good Wednesday. I never did that on a Wednesday night before.
Yes. Oh, I like this tagline. Tony Khan, take this. Is All In truly the final countdown?
Don't get shut down.
What? I can make the music noise.
Oh.
Europe can't sue me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not playing it. I know the rules. I know,
okay.
And I know how much they charge for the theme too. I'm not trying to even do that.
There you go.
By the way, have y'all checked out X/Twitter? I did see the photo that you're speaking of. I just saw it. Yeah. Samantha. So you can search for Samantha Irvin and it'll probably pop up.
Okay.
XGW says, "Hey yo, what's good, XGW? Appreciate you." Rob in the house, he yells hub, no love for me. Oh, I see what happens. I believe he said I'm number one and y'all ain't make dinner. There is actually food here. It was just there was no answer when you guys asked earlier. And
I don't see anything.
Okay, you'll see it eventually. You keep scrolling. BJ wanted to drop in and show some love. I hope you all are doing well, and I hope you have a great show. I got to catch the replay tomorrow, and I'll leave some comments. Appreciate that, Beach. And he said, I'll also give you a message tomorrow and catch up, Conrad. Okay, yeah, we haven't talked in a little bit, Beach. Appreciate you. Sean's link is down here for tomorrow. Listen, this WWE debate is going to be hot. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. We got the boss lady, Crystal in the house, Narcolepsy Boy, me and Sean. It don't get any better than that.
Spoiler alert, Crystal and Malik are very pro WWE.
They will be on the defense, or are they defending? So what are we the defense, or would they be? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I see you, XG Dub. Appreciate you. Brother Sean, what's going on, bro? Cool, showing love.
Coolly, I appreciate you, man.
E says, hey, yo. Whoa, Wednesday night clash. Uh-oh, don't tell Derek, better watch out. I see he's in the chat now.
I'm just here so I don't get fined, man.
Derek said, what up? What up? See my boy and my guy Hub. My apologies. Yeah, my daughter had her 60U championship game. I can't, baby.
My brother Derek, your shoes are far too big to fill. I'm happy to be here on your behalf. I'm just representing, bro.
Rob says it's Monet Incorporated.
Monet.
Every time they say that, you ever seen that episode of Family Matters where it's Lune? It's Lune.
Yes, I remember that. Yes,
that's what I think of every time I hear this.
Yep.
They're feeling you, Hubs, in the chat. Hold on here. Quill showing love to D. Matt Lopez says everybody's got a price.
They do. You know what I'm saying?
Sean does that laugh too well, man. You can't trust people who do the $1 million man's laugh too well. The cackle. John G, what's good? What's good?
John Jizzle.
Shane is going to revive you on demand with ROH and purchase the product as the anchor. That meeting / pick will be inconsequential in the long run. LOL. Stop it. If Tony do sign Shane, he better wrestle. Shane and Darby about to match Shane and Kurt. Chill. B-Boy Skyline, he said, wait, it's not Monday.
I know, it's weird. It's like the Twilight Zone.
Y'all better be saying that tomorrow too on Hub's channel at 8:35. Forgot to mention the time. Make sure you're there. Lock in at 8:30. Grab yourself a nice beverage. This is what I like to do. Grab a nice beverage, water for me, of course, and sit down and just listen to us talk, man. We're gonna put up your opinions too.
It's gonna be lit.
Yes. Really, Hubs, Marshawn Lynch.
Hey man, one of the most iconic quotes in Super Bowl media day history.
Y'all talk about Family Matters and softball demo all over the place. That's what we do. Brothers doing wrestling podcast as well. Show some love, man. Show some love.
All right, on everything.
That everything pro wrestling, everything can happen. So we opened up tonight's show in Greenville with MJF. He's in Greenville, South Carolina. MJF basically runs down South Carolina as he does. At this point, I don't like when people are like, oh, this is cheap heat, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, this is what they do. This is what people get into. I actually saw a video before the show of what they aired, Sean, and MJF said that he was like, I've been having a real tough time here. Your food's terrible, and I had to use the bathroom. And he was like, your toilet paper, it kept getting stuck. He was like, it was awful. It's the worst toilet paper I've ever used. And he pulls out South Carolina Gamecocks jersey, holds it up. It was like, why is it like this? Why is your toilet paper like this? The people pop for it. It was good fun for MJF to get into it. Then he pulled out their alternative jersey too and held that up. And I was like, good for him.
Right.
He runs down everything, talks trash about Ospreay and how he's the American champion. And Ospreay runs down, and Ospreay basically puts over anyone who's held the international title thus far. It says that they worked and made it in high regard. And he basically says, bruv, at Allin, He's going to tear him apart, and he's going to finally give him the beating he deserves.
Bruv.
And after that, MJF says his line. He says, well, everybody dies. Here comes Lance Archer. Lance Archer didn't beat up MJF. What is this? When did you have a soul?
It was kind of like a ho-hum when he came out. It was kind of like a, all right. I mean, no disrespect, but like.
You think they missed the boat with him? Like, do you think they could have done way more?
Of course, way more. That dude is a monster. But like I said, man, when you turn a monster into a midget, there's no coming back from it.
I think one of the hardest moments was when he lost that TNT Championship match to Cody.
Yeah,
that was one of the first ones, and then
that definitely rings out.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that he was the right guy to win, but I don't think you should have put him in that position to be in the finals and then lose against him as well. You could have did Cody and Dustin in a rematch. You could have did a bunch of other things.
I disagree with zero that you just said.
He comes out though, and like I said, I still like Lance Archer. I think he's good. I just think you have to. I don't know how you can fix this or rebuild this. You may have to change his whole character. But when
somebody turns into a cornball, and that's essentially what's happened. Like, it's a shame. Like, he is a mid-carder now. He is a guy who is never going to get to that level because there was an opportunity there and they squandered it, I think. I mean, AEW is not devoid of mistakes, and this is one of them.
And I'll say this too, though. Once again, I bring this up all the time with who was it? LAX and other teams. Mm-hmm. He was going to be in a main event. I did not know this. Do you remember when it was Moxley and Eddie Kingston in the I Quit match, like around the beginning after Kingston just got signed?
Yeah.
He was going to be in that match. It was going to be a triple threat, but I think he got some kind of injury and he couldn't be in it. And he was going to main event a pay-per-view for AEW.
Well, injuries are part of the game, but they still had other opportunities to make it right.
Absolutely. In this one, though, we got what we got here. They had a fine match here. Will Ospreay gets the win after hitting 2 hidden blades. They had a very New Japan-esque match.
Mm-hmm.
Two hidden blades were hit. After that, MJF, the sneaky guy that he is, he proceeds to find a way to jump in here. He's like, I got him. Let me hit him from behind. He starts putting the beat down on him. But I was shocked at who made the save. Play. Kyle Fletcher comes out to make the save from the Don Callis family. And he said, hey, that's my brother. I can't let you do that. MJF cowers up the ramp. And I thought Kyle Fletcher cut a pretty good promo.
You know what I'm doing right now?
Dusty, I don't know if that's dusting off your shoulder.
No. That's the writing on the wall. At the end of the day, we all see what's happening, right? Please tell me you see what's happening.
Oh, I've been calling this for a while.
Yeah, it's happening. Yes.
Yeah, I do think Will Ospreay is going to have his own group. He's going to have the guys from the United Empire back with him. It's going to be Aussie Open and Will Ospreay, possibly a trios down the line. Right. But yeah, he's getting kicked out the Don Callis family. Don did not look too happy about it, but Don Callis is playing the long game. Usually he doesn't do this. He would have turned on him already, but he said he needs a favor from him eventually. That favor is?
Don Callis is a very underrated heel. I don't dislike him as a heel. I think he's been put in some unfavorable positions in his career, but I think even when you go all the way back to him being the authority figure on ECW, he's a funny guy. He has talent. It's just when you're in the Truth Commission, it's hard to see talent. Do your research, guys.
And you know what the original plan for him was? We're educated time. Me and Sean are historians of this.
Yeah.
He was supposed to team with Rick the Model Martel, but he went to WCW for more money. I couldn't blame him though. Those Booker T matches were fire.
Yeah, facts.
But that was what Don Callis was supposed to end up doing. But Don reminds me a lot of Bobby Heenan and Nick Bockwinkel in the AWA. I think he studies that a lot. I don't know why, but I just get those Heenan vibes from him. Like he has studied this, the Don Callis family, the Heenan family.
Right.
I think there's just lots of little parallels there, and he needed his big winner. And I don't know if he's gotten that person yet. It was Kenny Omega. I feel like that.
It certainly wasn't going to be Kurgan.
No, not at all. With all due respect, all due respect to Kurgan, he's doing well though. He's in movies now and stuff.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
Listen. So Fletcher cut a good promo. MJF says that he will accept his challenge, but not tonight. It'll be next week. And he says he's going to do the same thing that he did to Daniel Garcia, who we found out this week was written off television because his contract was coming up and he hasn't made a decision yet.
Mm-hmm.
So he must have offers maybe coming from Connecticut?
Yeah, he'll be a mid-carder in NXT. Great job.
We don't know that.
We do know that.
It'll be interesting.
I will go on record. Anyone who goes from AEW to NXT, to World Wrestling Entertainment, will be on NXT. Book it. Swerve Strickland. Will Ospreay. I'm saying, I don't care who you are. You say what you want. WWE's steady, bro. But we're not here to talk about WWE. We're here to talk about
I brought it up, but I don't agree with that. I think they would take some people automatic to the main roster from multiple divisions.
You trust them more than I do, bro.
Listen, I know they want that money, and they're going to embarrass them at the same time. We got people talking about the WBD talks. We'll probably try to get into some of that, man. Derek says he appreciates you filling in for him. Look at that. Let me see here. CJ Hubs on a Wednesday. This is WWE in Canada. He called us Bizarro World. Y'all leave them Toronto crowds alone. I'm over there sometimes with them. I don't get it, but I'm over there with them. Terrell says AEW needs to extend to Fox and USA. I don't think they can do anything with USA for sure. Fox may be open. I heard Tubi's looking for a wrestling show. If all else fails, I said put Ring of Honor on there. But USA is going to be locked up with SmackDown. There's no way.
Yeah, USA already made. There's already been an announcement. SmackDown is going to USA. So.
Yeah. Let me see here. These guys are going in fantasy booking. I wish Archer gets a title run, whether it's TNT or international. I think Archer would get a run maybe in Ring of Honor, but I don't think they would let him do it here. And that might be a good spot for him. Like, be one of the top people in Ring of Honor.
Right. It did a lot for the young lady who's the women's champion. Athena.
Who, Athena?
Yeah.
It did. Kyle Fletcher soon to leave the family and join back with Will, and Mark Davis returns. United Empire and AEW. Yes, Cyrus the Virus. That's a little ECW reference. I like that. I agree with Sean. If Garcia, Ricky signs to WWE, they will go to NXT. I do agree with Sean on what he was saying with that. I just say I don't agree with everyone. But yes, I do think they would end up there. If it was MJF, maybe they will shoot him to the main roster. Yeah. I don't think he would go for it. You know how much money he's got now? He's got way more buying power than he did before.
Well, that's my point. You know, if you're an AEW person, you have to make a decision. If you sit down at the negotiating table, the first thing you should ask is how much money, and the second thing you should ask is what show am I going to be on? Oh, we're going to give you $2 million to go to NXT. Well, you weigh your options. What's more important, having $2 million and going to NXT, or having $1 million and being on somebody's main show?
And NXT ain't giving out $2 million just for the record, folks. You know, I know what you're saying, but NXT ain't giving nobody $2 million. Them deals will probably disappoint you if you see them.
Just don't put all your faith in the WWE machine. AEW has a lot to offer.
Let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to talk about this Swerve video package. Shout out to my guy Rich Latta, Montezi, Anthony King. I know that you guys actually produced that song. Friends of mine, friends who have been on the podcast, interviewed before, wanted to show them some love that they got their song on tonight. And they highlighted Swerve Strickland's world title reign. I really like that they did that video. Once again, I don't want to hear that they didn't do nothing for Swerve, because I know that's about to be coming. More on that in a second, but
I think that video package was a love letter to Swerve Strickland from AEW.
Yeah.
And I think it was very well timed, and I think it was beautiful, honestly.
Yes. And I'm with you on that. Like, they did what they accomplished to do with Swerve. You created another main eventer. Yes. Now the key is to keep him a main eventer. Do not let him slip for 2-3 pay-per-views. You can't let that happen. Injuries happen. Taking him off the card happens, but make people remember this is one of our top players.
Like when Adam Page costs him the title at All In, then build that into a main event storyline. Don't have it be in the middle of the card.
And I think it will be.
Spoiler alert.
More on that in the upcoming weeks on Clash of the Podcast, live every Monday at 6:05.
There you go. Conrad, I got to be me, brother.
You got to be. The Learning Tree, interviewed by Alex Marvez.
Hi, guys. Hi, Conrad. Hi, chat.
It wasn't my favorite work of theirs this week, but Alex Marvez I gotta say, because Derek's not here, this dude is like the biggest booger on the roster, right? Like, I don't like making fun of people and just saying,
that's not nice.
No, but he comes off so lame.
He is a lame. He is a lame. But so was Michael Cole 20 years ago.
I tell people this all the time. I hope Rob's in the chat. He'll probably argue with me. Michael Cole is still lame to me. Like, when he says stuff, I'm like, oh my goodness. Whip him, Ray. Whip your son. I'm like, oh, please stop. Get this guy off. Pull the headset off of him now.
No, you're right, though. But go ahead. What were you saying about Marvez?
I just thought he came off very corny in this segment, eating the cake. This is one of the few times no one got the cake shoved in their face.
Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake on site.
They were threatening Shibata and letting Shibata know that there's no one here to protect him. No Hook. Samoa Joe's out. It's just you all along. So Brian Keith, the bad apple, is going to be taking care of him. I look forward to those matches.
I think it'll be good. I like this kind of like learning trees meets deranged Chris Jericho. I've been a fan of learning trees since it started, so I'm not. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like when it's deranged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the hey guys,
hi guys.
It's
like I said before. Chat, back me up if you think I'm right. It's the same thing as JBL 2005. How's your family? Okay, good.
I wasn't a fan of that either. Matt Lopez is agreeing with you. He said that Swerve video package was beautiful, a love letter indeed, but was that foreshadowing of what might happen in London? I think he's in full agreement with you.
I'm with you, brother.
They should have thrown the cake in Marvez's face.
100.
Yeah. You know what? Start putting T-shirts over his head. Make him pick his nose. Do whatever you got to do to Marvez. Just
Marvez, it doesn't matter what your name is.
Alex and the Learning Tree are trash dookie.
Hi, guys.
Shibata got a bromance going on with the Von Erichs. He mentioned them in Noah, or mentored them, in Noah.
Hey, Conrad, did you know that Clash of the Podcast comes on at 6:05 every Monday night, and that all wrestling reviews are right here on EPW every Wednesday at 10 p.m.? Hi, guys.
It's the number one rated show at 6:05 on Mondays for wrestling shows on YouTube. That's the kind of stuff that's being said here. Listen to the words, folks.
Only man, all jokes aside, to be able to reinvent himself and still make it work. Come on, brother.
Oh, yeah, that's his gift. That's what he's always...
Yeah, and this learning treat, you and Derek don't like it. I like it.
This is on the weaker end for me of what he has done. Women's division action. We got the CMLL World Women's Championship Eliminator match. I know the people of EPW can definitely get what an eliminator match is, but for those who don't understand, because I get this sometimes where I'll see in the comments, what's an eliminator match? This is so dumb. This is to protect people. When the champion gets beat, I always feel like the champion should then have to defend the championship against that person. That's just a rule of Conrad. You don't have to agree with it, but that's just how I feel. Willow Nightingale CMLL Women's Championship match here. Statlander delivered in this match. I was very, very impressed with what she came out with.
Hey, 1, 2, 3 kid. If you can beat me, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be this week on Raw, you'll get a title shot next week. Same thing. That's what eliminator match is. I think Willow Nightingale is one of the most exciting and talented women in the industry, and I have to give credit. Kris Statlander, who to me was a big pile of sleep, is now somebody I'm really interested in. I'm really interested. I think she's really come of age. I think that this heel turn has been great for her.
It was that Stokely photo, wasn't it, floating around this week? That man, he just all he put was hashtag blessed.
Yeah.
Right behind all the women and Kris Statlander.
Yeah.
This guy Stokely, man, he left the chain out. Statlander used it on a discus lariat to pick up the win over Willow Nightingale. So that means Kris Statlander is now the number one contender. This feud is far from over. They have like 4 or 5 women's feuds going on throughout AEW and Ring of Honor right now, and I think they're all pretty good. Like I said, I've been saying it for months, and I see a lot of other people jumping on my bandwagon now. Y'all remember. Y'all better tell them. EPW show's been saying it just as long. This is the best division in this company right now.
Yes.
I don't care. You don't have to like Mercedes. You don't have to like Athena, Red Velvet, Kris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, it doesn't matter. Britt Baker, whomever, Toni Storm, Mariah May. This is the best division. They are delivering every single time they need to. The promos have been fantastic, and the storylines have been fantastic. I don't want to hear where's the story. They don't have storylines. You're not watching if you're saying that stuff.
Facts.
Just call people out for it.
I disagree with nothing. I disagree with nothing you just said.
So, following up from that, Statlander gets the win. She's going to be getting a title shot in the future. Like I said, I think this is a blood feud. I could even see a match at All In happening between them.
I would love that. I would love to see it not on the pre-show. I think it should be a main show match, and I think it would be an amazing thing to see 3 women's title matches on a pay-per-view of this magnitude.
And I absolutely can see that happening.
I mean, Willow Nightingale's legit, and Statlander has improved greatly.
Next up, we have Bryan Danielson. Yes. He just applied for that trademark too, by the way.
There you go.
He says he got his engagement photos here in South Carolina. I think Taz or someone on commentary was like, why? I said the same thing.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. He mentions he made a promise to his daughter when she turned 7 years old. Keeping promises to your kids are very important, is what they were trying to get over here. He said that he would not be wrestling full-time anymore and that his contract expires tomorrow. According to what we read all over the wrestling websites and the news sites, that appears to be true. His contract will be up. I don't know if Tony's going to make him sign a new one. I don't know how they do part-time deals, but
Handshake.
Danielson seems like he's an honorable old school guy. Tony has to be careful. I've been saying this even since the Moxley days. Do not trust everybody who gives you their word that they're going to do this.
Because he'll show up on Sunday in Wembley and be on Raw on Monday.
Someone will burn you one day.
Yeah.
I believe the phrase was, what was it? This is during the Punk time once again. I could have showed up to SummerSlam with the world title. Why? Why would you take that chance even?
Exactly. All I gotta say about this announcement, you are gonna talk about the announcement, right?
Yeah, go ahead. You can get into it.
I mean, I think it's a really big deal. I mean, Bryan Danielson has proven himself to be a superstar in this industry, somebody that I've had grown to have a lot of respect for. I knew a lot of his work in Ring of Honor. Obviously, he came to major prominence in WWE, and now he's an AEW star as well. For him to it was established he's going to put his career on the line. First of all, big shout out to Swerve Strickland for what I thought was a very strong promo. Dude is so good at being a jerk that he's still a babyface, which is amazing. But he talked some truth, man. He was like, listen, your body didn't hold up to be able to get it to Wembley Stadium last year. Don't make promises to me, make promises to your family. But Bryan Danielson has agreed that he will put his career on. He volunteered. He will put his career on the line. All I gotta say is that if you're gonna do HBK Undertaker 2010, you better get it right.
I had bad flashbacks.
Yeah,
when that happened too.
You better get it right. The wrong man won in 2010, in my opinion. So I hope they get it right this time.
Most people don't know this, but Shawn Michaels is probably still considered my all-time favorite. And I remember that night I was watching with Rob. Got off work. I was super tired. And all I remember was, you've got your match at WrestleMania. And Shawn lifts up that one leg to go through the ropes on one condition. Yeah. And he just heard the loudest, no! Because I knew what was coming. And here, I felt the same thing when he said, Swerve. And I was like, no, they're going to do it. Yeah. They're going to do this. And like I said, Swerve cut a promo basically letting you know that he is a ruthless dude. He's going to take you out. He's going to do whatever he has to do to win this.
But I got to give AEW credit for one thing and one thing only, which is the fact that when you make an announcement like this, career on the line, we really don't know what's going to happen. Back in 2010, we kind of felt like we knew Shawn Michaels was on his way out. Daniel Bryan is too. Bryan Danielson is too. But who's to say he doesn't win?
But he has said contradicting things on both sides in interviews. He has said, I don't want the responsibility of being the champion because I'm afraid of what I'm going to do to myself. Doctors have told him to stay out of the ring until this match because they're trying to make sure you don't get hurt. People like to make fun of Punk. We also have Danielson. These guys are getting older, man. Their bodies are roughed up, man. They've been doing this since the 90s. They're roughed up from this.
Just like you and me.
I think we're all right if we got on the court a little bit.
There you go.
Not moving too fast, but
there you go.
I just don't know. So what is the right thing in the world of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly? What is the right thing they need to do in your opinion?
You're gonna get mad at me for this one. I think the right thing is for Swerve to win.
Really?
I do. I think the right thing is for Swerve to win. I love Bryan Danielson, but I hate the idea of him hurting himself. And we all know that the reports of his quickly diminishing health are quite real. And I'm all about having a wrestling swan song at AEW's version of WrestleMania. Let's knock it out the park. Let's be amazing. Let's be tremendous. But then let's walk away. I don't want him to hurt himself. You know what I'm trying to say? I think even taking this particular match, because you know they're going to go all in, no pun intended, is taking a risk. But once that risk is taken and God willing he gets through it unscathed, you got to walk away. So to me, just because I feel like for the humanitarian in me, it has to be Swerve that wins this match. A, Swerve deserves it. That's number one. Let's not make any mistake about that. And B, Bryan Danielson should walk away. It's time because he's not well.
I think he's well enough to still do it. I think the part-time is the best thing for him, though. Now it's pick a match, build the match, do the match. Pick a match.
If you go that route, then you're talking about a part-time champion, which was something that we've always said is not great for the business.
That's fine. I mean, wrestling is one thing and doing that's another. And like I said, I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't have a feeling of either way yet.
It's a toss-up. But look, unless your name is Roman Reigns, part-time championships don't work.
But I don't think Danielson would hold it for long, though. Okay. I think at best he makes it to Wrestle Dream with the championship.
Okay.
And is Swerve cooked if he loses this? I don't think so. Not at all. I think Swerve might want to pay respect to him because they're from the same area. He might feel like I owe you.
I don't think he's cooked, but I think he deserves to win this match in front of 80,000 people.
I don't know if they're going to sell that many.
In front of 60,000 people.
You think they get to 60?
I predicted 68, if you remember.
Yeah. I think I was in the 50s, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with it. We got some good comments here. We got to rewind back a little bit. Statlander did great tonight, Matt Lopez says. Liking the feud. I hope they hold off and give them the match in the spotlight on All Out. We forgot about that. 2 weeks later, they do have another pay-per-view, All Out, because All In has 2 Spotlight Women's Championship matches. So he'd rather see it on All Out where he could get some more shine on it. I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either.
T-Ferg79, what's good? He said, what up, fellas? Stokely is underrated as a manager. I 1,000% agree with you.
He's very good. He's very good.
Let's see here. Probably while they're on the road, don't make me tell Dex. John Moxley should have went to SummerSlam with the AEW title. Ric Flair went to the WWF with the WCW title. Terrell, I promise you that is a bad, bad thing. It did not look good when he did it for. I remember as a kid being like, "Yo, this is so cool." Right. I also remember seeing it later though, and I was like, "Yeah, that made WCW look weak."
Yep.
And then they had to go with Luger, and Wyndham never got the time. It messed up a lot of stuff. Matt Lopez says Bryan Danielson is one of the guys like Joe, AJ Styles, CM Punk, Homicide that made me fall back in love with wrestling in the mid-2000s. Yeah, Ring of Honor was peak at that time.
There you go.
Danielson goes backstage before I mention his other thing. And Jeff Jarrett's there. And if you remember, they kept showing the promos of Jarrett like, you got to go all in. You got to do this for yourself, kid. Mm-hmm. He smacks the hat out of Jeff Jarrett's hands. He said, you want to see me go all in? He was like, me and you next week. So Danielson, Jeff Jarrett. I never thought I would say something like that in the year 2024 on Dynamite next week.
I'm happy it happened because unless Jeff Jarrett is standing, you quote me on this, unless Jeff Jarrett's standing in the impact zone, he shouldn't be saying a word. You are not in Bryan's like ballpark. So this all in stuff, it's like, wait a minute, did you go all in when you lost to Ric Flair when he was 113? Shut up.
Let Jarrett rock. Good for him.
I love Jarrett and TNA. That's about it.
I think Jeff's all right. I think he's in the midst of his like this is over, and I think that's why Danielson's
how long
like.
has he been retiring for 10 years?
Listen,
Jeff Jarrett is 70, bro.
Listen, I want wrestlers to hear this real quick, and I usually don't stick up for Jeff Jarrett, but
Jeff Jarrett is 97 years old.
That's a lie, good sir.
Look, I have my phone right here. Jeff Jarrett, Jeffrey Jarrett, 97.
Be smart like Jeff Jarrett to where he can still wrestle today. All he does is get in there, he throws his couple of punches, acts like the figure four is getting locked on, and takes a couple moves. Jeff Jarrett is a smart businessman.
All right, I want to apologize for saying something that's false on your show. Jeff Jarrett's not 97. Okay, he's 95.
Incredible. All in main event is a toss-up. Yeah, I don't know what they do. AEW is back 7 out of 10. Byron Cutler coming in with his review already. WWE didn't know what to do with Big Stoke. Apparently not. T-Ferg says, would have loved to see an all-Seattle faction of Danielson past, Swerve present, Darby and Nick Wayne the future. Ooh, interesting. Hubs, Y Double J, agent 20 years. Yeah, listen, fine wine, right? There you go. Jeff Jarrett is older than Joe Louis, and he's 102. Come on, Craig.
Oh, I like your audience there, Conrad. Look at them, Easy and Craig and Easy. I like this.
They know how to rock. They know how to rock. Get this man out of here. Where's the hook? Where's the Sandman tap dance him off stage?
I'm here, brother. I'm here.
So we went to a trios match, Derek's favorite. We had the conglomeration versus the Beast Mortos, Roderick Strong, and Roosh. I have no notes for this. I'm pretty sure you don't because way too much was happening in this match all at once. I love Mark Briscoe. The babyfaces got a tremendous reaction. I thought the people in South Carolina were really feeling them. I want to talk about the finish, though, Sean. Shocked, bro. Shocked. The Beast Mortos picked up Mark Briscoe, looked like a burning hammer into a pile driver, and I was like, oh, 1, 2. I'm like, Briscoe kick out? Nope. He took the L. The Beast Mortos is getting a Ring of Honor world title shot.
That's what it's going to boil down to. When you win 6-man tag team matches, you get title shots, and that's what's going to happen.
I couldn't believe the conglomeration lost here. I am happy, though, that New Japan did not put Ishii in the G1 and that AEW gets to use him. I think this is a tremendous piece of work for Ishii. I always felt like he was one of those guys from New Japan that deserved better. But, yeah, Roosh looked good. They did what they had to here.
Well done. Job accomplished, and now you look forward to a title match down the road.
Yo, shout out to McKinney and Cray, both in the house, and Byron Cutler. McKinney says, yo, I'm here to drop off a like and hear what happened tonight. Appreciate you, McKinney. Thank you. E said this was his match of the night. He thought it was really good.
It wasn't a bad match at all. I mean, match of the night, I probably wouldn't go there, but it was good. It was really good.
I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. After this, we got the Acclaimed. By the way, if you guys haven't listened to Hubonomics, Sean was talking about the AEW tag division this week, and he gave some pretty high praise to the Young Bucks.
That's the truth, man. I mean, I know people probably expected me to go off on the Bucks, and there are some standards and practices they should probably improve upon, but in the ring, I still have them as one of the best tag teams in the world.
I don't think that AEW's tag division is as cooked as people are saying. I think the tag division needs more focus. And like I said, I think in part that's due to the trios divisions and such. But the Acclaimed are the number one contenders for those tag titles right now. And, yeah. How'd you feel about their promo? They're calling out FTR.
Well, I just want to, address the elephant in the room that, Matt Caster is starting to show himself to be somebody who thinks he's better than the team. So
I've noticed that too, because he said he was the MVP of Blood and Guts, and I was like, shouldn't you say we were the MVPs of the team?
So I mean, I saw a little side-eye Billy Gunn game, and I'm just saying, like, will it happen soon? I don't know, but it looks like it's coming. However, I like what's coming down the pike. Obviously, we're looking at a world tag team match between the Acclaimed and the Young Bucks. Everybody does love the Acclaimed, but it just seems like Matt Caster loves himself a little bit more.
And maybe that's him putting himself in that position. Do you think this has all been a gimmick? Everything on Twitter, like, we don't want Shelton Benjamin here.
Yeah, I do.
He did that interview with Chris Van Vliet. He was pretty harsh as to why, and I was just like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, it seemed probably a little bit too real for it to be real, if that makes any sense.
I love my chat. Matt Lopez says, congratulations, Young Ducks. Been tag champs for 100 days, which means they haven't defended them in 100 days.
This is also true. I got to give Matt and Leezy credit for that. That is also true.
Go figure. And I think we're getting a big multi-man tag match. I don't know if there's going to be 3 teams or 4 teams in it, but I can see the Young Bucks, FTR, and the Acclaimed. Is there a 4th team you think that deserves to be in that mix? Anything? I mean, I know if you get Motor City Machine Guns, of course, but is there another team?
That's kind of a pipe dream, but I mean, I would love to see an underutilized team. You know what I'm saying? Bring somebody out there that doesn't always have that main event pay-per-view spotlight. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. And I agree with E. Dax and Cash would have bangers right now with the titles, but they also had that injury they were dealing with, and it looks like Dax is better already. He thought something was probably wrong with his back, but it looks like he's all right.
And then, by the way, there we go. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say if Matt Caster turns heel, his freestyles will be awesome, and that's exactly what M. Leezy's talking about. He says Matt Caster as a heel solo act will be very entertaining. I think he would definitely step it up, and we'd hear even more hardcore freestyles about his opponents.
Yeah, and then everything's on him too, though. Like there's no you're bringing Bowens down or anything like that. McKinney, thumbs down to the Ducks, he calls them.
You know, like I said, I think sometimes we have a habit, I'm including myself, have a habit of taking the outside of the ring stuff and making it part of the wrestling. I'm eliminating that. Just like I eliminated with Jericho, the alleged stuff, right? The Young Bucks in the ring, bell to bell, are still one of the best tag teams in the world. That's where I'm at with it. So for me, I think your tag team division is better when the Young Bucks are in it. I'm not saying your company's better if the Young Bucks are your EVPs, but your wrestling division and tag is better if the Young Bucks are in it.
And like you said, no matter what I say or how I feel about them, they're probably still one of the top 10, even top 5, arguably, best tag teams in the ring on most people's lists. So trust me, we had a conversation today, and we said if the other company, if they could have them, I think they would.
Right.
If they were available.
Absolutely.
We got a quick sit down here with Mariah May and Renee Paquette ahead of All In. I actually like Mariah May's promo here, saying that she started to act like Tony, she became Tony, and then she said she busted Tony up, and then she wore her skin. And she basically flaunted that she used her, and then Renee was trying to get a little deeper into, well, why did you do this? And then she said, I'm not answering any more questions. And I thought that was perfect because it made me like, oh, you're not going to talk anymore now? She's like, I'm done. I'm not answering any more questions. And then she got up and walked away.
Big shout out to my girl, who's now at work. But she was watching the show, getting ready as she was heading out, and she said that Mariah May was sexy. Now, don't run with that. I want to make a real solid point. I'm not just being funny with you guys, like for haha. She said Mariah May was sexy in that she came across extremely confident. Like that promo hit with my girl, who is not a wrestling fan, if that makes any sense. So when you're watching that promo, you can tell that Mariah May is a star. And for me, I love what I'm seeing out of Mariah May. I also still love what I see out of Toni Storm. It really puts the division in a really uncomfortable place, and I mean that in a good way, about who's going to be on top at All In, because Mariah May has never been better. Toni Storm has never been better. And I bring up my lady saying that about Mariah May, saying that she had a sexy promo, sexy interview, because I think Mariah May translates to mainstream. It's just about how they move her forward.
I agree with that, and I think she's been saying all the right things. I watch people, so you say that, like, just look at the wrestling, but also there are times where you do look at the other stuff. Her PR work is incredible. She said that AEW feels like where I belong. This feels like the place where I've always should have been. And I was like, oh, that's a good thing to say. Good thing to say. So she knows her audience. She knows what she's doing. It's going to be interesting to watch All In. This is one of the matches I'm most looking forward to on the show. I'm not even kidding.
I mean, to me, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Toni Storm right now at this particular moment is the #1 female wrestler in the industry today. In my opinion. When you're talking about in-ring, when you're talking about promos, talking about character, I think she is number one. Mariah May is coming, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And you have been saying that for months on Clash of the Podcast, Monday, live at 6:05. Yeah. It's true, though. I've really enjoyed it. And Tony came out after this, and she basically just yelled that she loved her. This is going to be a bloody romance, and it's still playing off of her character, but her character is unhinged at this point.
Yeah, she's lost it. She's lost it. Now, I will say this, though. I want to kind of reel it back in, though.
I think she will after this feud, I would hope. If she wins or loses. That's going to be the key, because I wonder what happens after this. Does she go
one of the least favorite incarnations of Sting was when he was like the wild face paint Sting. Like, when I say face paint, like wild, uncontrollable face paint in TNA. When he was like nuts because of Hogan.
Joker Sting?
Right. I didn't like that. Sometimes when things are not broke, you shouldn't fix them. I understand why Toni Storm is unhinged right now, but I hope that, like you said, when this storyline is over, that she reels it back in, because she has lightning in a bottle with this Toni Storm character. Or should I say this timeless character?
Yes, and Matt 100% agrees. Toni is the number one women's wrestler in the world. Mariah is on the come up. Yeah.
Thank you, Emily.
Yes, backing that as well. Then we see the Comic-Con highlights of Kamille and Mercedes Moné. So that must mean that their stuff is coming up. And for those who didn't get to see it, I have the graphic. Kamille is all elite. She's been all elite, it sounds like, for a little bit of time now. But they have picked her up. I think that she's in a better place over here than I think she did everything she could in the NWA. She was a long-term champion over there. She helped build it up. Her and Nick Aldis were a great duo, but that had moved on since. And then she was a solo act. Now she gets to be over here, and she gives me the vibes of China. And I mean that as far as her role as like the bodyguard, the arms folded. She's gonna dominate you, and that's what you need to have happen here. She ends up wrestling Brittany Jade, Kamille. They call her the Brick House. Kamille destroyed her. She wins with a sit-out dominator. I like it. I think for the sake of her hips in the future, she should consider just doing the dominator. I think it looks just as good. And Mercedes cuts a promo after. She says that her group is called Money Incorporated, or Monet Incorporated.
I like it. I don't love it. And I only say that because I have such esteem and respect for Kamille, for what she's accomplished. I find it difficult in my mind to wrap my head around seeing a dominant, historic reigning NWA champion now being reduced to a bodyguard. But we have to have faith, right? So obviously the first impression I got was Diesel Shawn Michaels. That's the very first, thing that ran over me. So we'll see. Not bad. I don't love it, but it's not bad.
I think you can expound upon this too. If Mercedes is building her own group,
watch over me. Excuse me. Go ahead.
She can do a lot of other things with it, though.
Right. 100%.
Who's to say she doesn't? So she's got her money person. Kamille's head of security. This is similar to the cabinet. JBL, like you had mentioned. She could do something like that. Why not put the Renegade twins in there and have them help out? Get some people underneath who could take some L's for her, but they get more ring time on Dynamite.
Right.
People who you see tremendous potential in. So I think that there is something there for them. These two as a duo, I think it's going to work out better in the end. And I think Camille's just happy to finally be on TV when they were trying to figure out what to do with her. And I think they were hemming and hawing over what we're talking about right now. Like, should we put her with Mercedes? Is that going to work? And it's like, she just wants to be on TV. Mercedes does a great job with people later on. That's the one thing I will say. I know a lot of people get down on her and such, but she always ends up doing the right thing in the end and helps a lot of people and makes them better.
I mean, at the end of the day, to your point, Conrad, you have two of the best in the world working together for right now. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of, okay, what's next? And AEW's been doing a good job. So I have faith that it's going to work out. I wasn't thrilled about seeing her as a bodyguard, but hey, like you said, let's put a different twist on it. Maybe not bodyguard, like you said, maybe head of security, maybe executive vice president of Money Incorporated. You know what I'm saying?
And even then, you could incorporate them with the elite side of things because they've been hanging out too. I don't know what they want to do with it, but they have options. It has legs.
Right.
McKinney says Joker Sting was fire. It was a change from the norm. I didn't hate Joker Sting either. I think they were just rolling with it because the Dark Knight movies were popular at the time, and they were just trying. Sting probably just wanted to do something a little different. But Sean also mentioned though, maybe that's not what everybody wanted to see either. I don't know. I don't know if it helped or hurt the ratings at the time for TNA.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, though, like to me, sometimes I believe that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But sometimes tweaks are necessary. So, I mean, that's what opinions are for. We all have them, and they all should be respected.
Right, and same thing with Surfer's thing. Like, I didn't think I was sick of it at the time, but then once I got Crow's thing, I was like, yeah, this is better. This is the wave right here.
Yes.
Deanna in the house. What's up, Deanna? She said Tony's doing such a good job with this character. If she goes back to normal, she can rinse and repeat on the next, but tweak it. Yeah. Kamille will shine. She had an amazing run in NWA, helped that division. Camille's going to turn on Mercedes, and they're going to feud. You know what I'm thinking? In a year, Monet Inc. could be a great heel team for a Women's Blood and Guts. I've been saying Women's Blood and Guts has to happen in the future.
Not bad.
Kamille is starting out slow is cool because Diane got pushed so fast without establishing a character because she was clearly a heel trying to play a face now. I'm not sure who he's referring to with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Let me know, McKinney. What we got coming up next week? Dynamite, MJF, Kyle Fletcher. We mentioned that. Jeff Jarrett, Bryan Danielson. Collision, 5 p.m. start time this week. I wonder why. By the way, if you didn't hear, now the pre-show's 3 hours. I wonder why. Every time, man. Every time. And I had people, Tony said that they're trying to sabotage them. How does he know? Have you heard of Jim Crockett Promotions? Have you seen the letter that he wrote saying that WCW does this to him and does that do you not watch this stuff, folks? We educate you every week. Tell people.
We try to educate you. We try to educate them.
Well, the people who listen faithfully know that we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And these are the points that I don't like to argue on Twitter, wherever, Threads. It doesn't matter. Why on earth do people say this stuff like, how do you know? I could guess. I tell you where I'm at.
Because we pay attention.
You can see a lot of the stuff that's happening. Collision also announced a match. They're going to have Darby Allin, Mark Briscoe, and FTR in an 8-man tag against the Undisputed Kingdom, that's Strong, and the ROH Tag Champs versus the Beast Mortos. So we're going to get some more of that in action. And our main event now, Darby Allin, Hangman Page. This was what it was, man. Page tries to attack Darby. Darby's jumping off the stage. Lights went out in the middle of the match. I don't know if that was an accident. I don't know if power went out in South Carolina. We've seen that happen on some old shows before in the 90s.
Beware of dog.
Yep. Oh, so mad about that.
I'm an encyclopedia, bro.
Savio Vega versus the Ringmaster. Darby hit a nice diving battering ram through the ropes to Page, who was sitting on the stairs. Coffin drop got reversed into a sleeper. Hangman hits a big clothesline, turned Darby inside out, got a 2 count. Deadeye. Then he stands up and delivers another one to Darby. Now Darby's out. Hangman could win this match, but instead he wants to inflict more punishment. He goes for the buckshot lariat. Darby just falls over. He did the Orange Cassidy to him. Hangman has his chance, and he lets him hang around too long. He takes him down, hits him with that cradle. 1, 2, 3. Darby skedaddles, and he picks up the win. Hangman is a glutton for punishment. He plays himself every time because he's obsessed with Swerve, is what the story is. That's all that's on his mind. He's ruined his family and everything else associated with it. And I don't know if this is the big match for All Out. I don't know when this is going to happen. Maybe it's for Wrestle Dream again. I don't know what they're doing here, but I'm interested. Darby's got himself 2 title shots lined up. Oh, you didn't know? Darby's not only getting a title shot at All-In against Jack Perry, which he made the Elite promise him in the Blood and Guts, but at Grand Slam, he's getting a world title shot as well. Big couple.
A lot of stuff going on, man.
Yeah, they're making some moves. So
whose house? Darby's house.
Also might be Swerve's house. We got some big matches going down here for Allin in London Sunday, August 25th in Wembley. We haven't heard anything on where this is going to be airing, what's going to be happening.
I gotta say, those are 4 main events in my book.
Oh yeah, I think more are coming. Like I said, Jack Perry and Darby aren't on there. They're going to be doing more. I see what you did. Oh, Deanna Purrazzo. Yes. Deanna Purrazzo. Yes. I think Deanna's doing fine. I don't think everyone has to come in and win the championship right away and go on these long win streaks and stuff like that. I like her feud with Thunder Rosa. That's another feud that people don't talk about enough. Like, it's been on Collision.
Facts.
Beware of Dog. Great strap match, but wild. The Undertaker faces for the IC title in the casket match. Oh, yeah. I wonder who will pop up out of that. Crickets when Hangman was on offense. Thanks, guys. Terrible. Leave your scores for Dynamite. I thought it was a passing episode. I give it 1 thumbs up.
If that's the scoring table, I'll give it 1 thumbs up as well.
Yeah. It wasn't a double, but it was a 1. It was good.
It was good TV. Good TV.
Yeah.
I like AEW, man. AEW comes correct every week for the most part.
Usually,
it's one of the worst kept secrets in the world is that I'm not a huge WWE guy. So, I obviously am a big supporter of AEW. John G must have loved tonight. Okay, I respect it. Yeah,
John G said 9 out of 10 for him. E said lights go out a lot lately. I like it though. It also keeps it a surprise. Like, nope, no surprise yet. Maybe another time. Maybe if it goes out again.
Yeah.
You don't know. Deanna said it was okay, and that's fine too if you felt that way. Shout out to Ori on Twitch. If you are a video game fan, go subscribe to Ori the Draw on Twitch. She said, "Good stuff, pal." I appreciate you, Ori. Thank you so much. Is Collision is Hologram a Collision exclusive? It feels like it right now for the time being. Yeah, it was good. John G said, "I give it a thumbs up." I give EPW and Hubs 2 thumbs up.
Thank you.
Well, we're not done yet. We got one more thing that I want to get into just for a few minutes here. This photo, I had to send this. Wrestle Talk and Fightful Select kind of joined up for the story. Wrestle Talk had the photo. Fightful Select seems like they had the news. Mercedes Moné has alluded to she took this photo. This was in an airport in Arlington, Texas. I don't know what airports are out there. But it was said on Monday that Shane McMahon and Tony Khan had a meeting, Sean. For those that don't know, Shane McMahon is the son of Gomez McMahon. And
this on Wednesday night too? Okay.
Yeah, it's very weird, man, to see this. You think that you got the McMahons out of wrestling, and looks like it may not be for long. I don't know how to feel about this. I told you earlier I was 50-50 on this. Your thoughts on seeing this, just let it flow. Let it flow. Same for you, Chad.
Look, for me, I've always liked Shane more than I like Vince. So, I don't have an issue with Shane. I also think that Shane has an issue with his father. I think there's an underlying issue with his father. And I think that if that's the case, that can make things very interesting. Now, the logic of him turning his back on his father to legitimately try and make AEW #1 and to get in business with Tony Khan is very unlikely. But there's a small chance. I like Shane McMahon has been very public about his somewhat lack of happiness with his father. There's been reports about that. I'm not speculating. You can look that up yourself. Again, how logical is it that he will go with that distaste for his dad's actions and really go to the competition and try and make them better? It's very unlikely, but I love the intrigue. I love the possibility. Seeing them in that picture did, kind of give me the proverbial, goosebumps. But I'm also 50-50. I'm probably more 30-70, but
30 leaning which way?
30 that nothing's going to come of this.
I don't know. Now, where's my conspiracy hat? Let me put this on here. Let's think about this, Sean. We're business guys, right? So this photo, this took place on Monday. It came out Wednesday on Dynamite Day, the week of SummerSlam.
Right.
I don't believe in coincidences in business. My mind starts to work too.
I don't believe in coincidences, period. I believe everything happens for a reason.
So I look at this and I'm like, that's a little weird. I feel like they want Shane in there. And I do believe Mercedes Moné took the picture. It wasn't someone that worked at the airport. Nobody's running in there and then running down the tarmac like, please don't fire me. I have to send this to Wrestle Talk. Mm-hmm. No one's doing that. Tony, where's that photo? Tony can act like he's surprised all he wants, like he didn't know. There's more than 2 cups in there, too.
Facts.
Who else is talking? What's going on here? Someone facilitated this meeting. I think it was Mercedes. I think and it's interesting because Shane McMahon was the person who people talked about booking the worst Royal Rumble finish in a minute, but that was also under the disguise of Gomez. He can say whatever he wants, but he was there. What do we do here in this situation? Let's pretend you're Tony Khan. Sean, do you bring in Shane McMahon or do you not trust him? I have this little thing in me that's like, do not trust this family. Be very careful.
What I said before, I said to you, I love the idea of Shane having a very, as we all know, somewhat distaste for his dad and his actions, and that fueling him to go and try and help AEW. But what did I also say? I said it's highly unlikely. It would take a massive shift of the universe for Shane McMahon to really step into AEW and it mean that the other one's not involved, because that would be my fear. That if Shane's involved, it's okay. Better way to put it. It's more likely that Shane is still in cahoots with his own family than it is for Shane to be branching off on his own.
All right, we got to stay on this. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to go a little overtime here for a second, but let's think about it like this. Here's the beauty of this scenario, and I agree with what Matt Lopez said. I think Shane has an issue with Triple H.
Bro, I've been saying this the whole.
Follow me here, though.
Right, there is an issue. I'm not saying it's not. Right.
And this might be just the heir apparent to the throne issues. I know we're getting into medieval phrases saying stuff like that, but who was going to take over the throne from Vince? Was it Stephanie? Was it Triple H? Or was it Shane? And by the end, we're looking around like this is a murder mystery now. Can you guess who? Do you have a clue? Like, who set Vince up? I'm sorry, Gomez, if you guys need to correlate the names. Who set him up? It had to be one of those people. It has to be either someone in his family or Nick Khan. That I'm convinced of it. Someone had to know that was there, and they were like, say something, say it's anonymous, get him up out of here. Then when they got him up out of here, they knew that, well, what's his next play? His next play is give me my money, I'm out. Give me all my money and facilitate the deal, or I'm going to ruin this company in front of all of your eyes. Okay? And there's too many people invested in it. That's the difference with a corporation. Right. Do what I say. So we see all of this, and I say that to say this. Tony Khan. Does Tony Khan need a McMahon's money? Does he need to have Shane? I don't think so.
No.
Flip it the other way, though. Does Shane McMahon need a Tony Khan? No. I think Shane's living all right. Maybe he's fallen on hard times. I don't know. Maybe someone has.
No, Shane McMahon is still a very wealthy man.
If we're going by the kicks, he looks like he's still wearing some nice shoes.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see how it pans out with all of this.
It's risky. It's what I want to say, Conrad, is that it's risky. Dream scenario, maybe Shane does, and I know, like I said a second ago, I've read the reports, I do my research. Yes, Shane McMahon has an issue with his family, right? But are you really gonna? I would love it to be the case, but are you really gonna be comfortable if you're Tony Khan and then you really invest in this guy? And when I say I invest, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about invest your time and make him a part of your inner circle. And God forbid, Shane reverts back to his roots and screws you over. It's a big risk. It's a big risk.
Who you eating Thanksgiving with, Shane? Questions you may want to ask. I'm just putting it out there. Your mother, I love both my kids. I would never tell secrets. Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be very careful with what you're doing here. Now, when you put it like this, right? I don't know how old is Shane McMahon? Can we look that up? Hold on. I'll look this up.
I got it. Keep talking, bro. I got it.
I was going to say, we heard Jeff Jarrett's age earlier.
He has to be north of 50.
50. I'm going to say he's 54 or something like that. Guessing.
Shane is 54. Good job.
Yo, what a guess. Shane McMahon is 54 years old. How are you signing him to a wrestling contract?
No.
And Shane has enough leverage, Sean, that if I'm Shane McMahon, I'm coming in, I'm going to say, I want a little piece of the company. Don't get greedy.
That's when it starts getting risky again. Look.
But listen, Tony can do it. There's levels to how much you can do. Once you start getting into double digits, I'm like, nah, fam, not 10%. But he might come in and say, give me 5% of it.
Bro, let me be very clear with you. Nothing would be better in my wrestling existence than to see Shane McMahon arm in arm with Tony Khan. It would make my wrestling, outside of my future wife, my kid, and my parents, and my God, that would be the greatest thing I ever saw. But how can you be sure? Because once you let somebody in the hen house, once you let the wolf in the hen house, if the wolf turns on you, you're screwed.
Can't the wolf turn on him the other way?
Of course, but I'm just, oh my God.
Let's go back to WrestleMania 39. I don't know if it was bad, Gomez booked it. If it was good, Triple H booked it. Shane got hurt on that WrestleMania. Yeah. Did they take care of him? E said this could be a play for Shane just to get a big fat WWE Legends deal. Also, could it just be a play to have WBD say, maybe we should pony up some more money for AEW? They got people. This is the momentum, though, that we were talking about that you need. If you do this, this isn't just a television debut, in my opinion. Come talk to me, people. This is a debut that you say, guys, before we go to Allin, or the night, or the week in between All Out, All In, or maybe Grand Slam, you say, we're going to be holding a press conference in New York City. And we are going to have a big announcement, and you have Shane sign that on a stage where people will see him do this. Not SummerSlam. It's obviously going to be on a weekday because stock market and WBD is going to want to be there. And here's my pen, Shane. One of those deals. You're going to want to do all that stuff.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. That's what you do, though. You make this the biggest deal, and the headline's going to read, WBD gives Tony Khan $1 billion deal, and it comes with a McMahon. Ooh. That's what I think Tony wants the headline to be. If he's going to do this, it comes with a McMahon. But you're not going to just use Shane I'm not paying Shane McMahon mad money to wrestle like 2 or 3 matches a year, to do some crazy Darby Allin stuff. You got Darby Allin. Okay, Shane goes out there and he'll have one match with Darby. Then what? Shane goes out there to have a crazy match with Will Ospreay. Then what? He's going to go out there and punch Jericho, and Jericho's going to have to lambaste him again. Like, slow down. Then what? You're going to want his acumen. You want his business acumen.
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
no, dude. I told you, I'm not on either side with this.
Yeah, this is scary for me. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm real scared to pull that figurative trigger. I mean, God, to bring a McMahon into your house. Oh my God, that's so risky. I mean, literally, it would have to be where Shane hates his family. Like, Shane has taken his kids away. They don't go to holiday dinners anymore. Like, it would have to be over. Like, anything other than that, you are taking a...
It sounds... And his son, Declan, it sounds like he was getting offers. I can't remember if it was like North Carolina State. Someone correct me if you know the college.
He went to Indiana.
Indiana, right? Sorry. Yeah. Whatever college he went to. Right before all the stuff got released, it said that he was still close to his grandfather. So this is another thing. Your kids might be leaking stuff to him. Does he still own that stock? I don't know what he's doing with all this stuff. All of this plays a factor into it. But
all it would take, Conrad, even if Shane is dead set against his father, all it would take is one
backstab.
Son, we got to talk.
One phrase to take her.
Son, what about my grandkids? Son, we need to bring this family back. All it takes is one Thanksgiving dinner. All it takes is one weekend camping trip. And AEW is screwed.
What about flip it the other way too, though, Sean? What if they say, I want to join? I got some resources you can use.
Oh.
How do you know if you're WWE how this trial is going to go? And I'm just playing devil's advocate right now. And I know that's code in the business world for a time to be an a-hole, but I'm not. Just hear me out for a second.
Right.
What if it's what Juke says right here? I think he wants to distance himself from the family. Listen, what's the word I'm looking for as a motivator here? Because I'm one of these people. If you tell me I can't do something, it's a motivator to me because I'm going to do it in front of you. People told me I wouldn't graduate college when I was younger. It's a motivator. Look at me now, player. And it's the best feeling in the world to rub it in someone's face like you missed out. Shane McMahon was the genius who told, what did he say? Buy UFC. They didn't do it. Now look, you needed them to join up with you. You could have bought that and just had that out of the way.
Could have had that out of the way, yep.
He told him, don't let that go on Spike afterwards. Didn't listen. Wasn't he the guy when they bought ECW and they were going to put it back on TV? Put this as an internet show. I think it'd be really cool and people would watch it. Nah, that ain't going to work. It sounded like he was ahead of his time. Sounded like it was a good idea. But then you look at the Royal Rumble. I don't want that on AEW either. Like,
True story.
So let's forget all this. Let's say Tony's bringing him in. Tony goes, Sean, I'm coming to you. Sean, what should we do with Shane? What's the best role for Shane? Is it office? Is it office and wrestler? What do you do with him? Do you put him with the Bucks?
First of all, Shane, if Shane, and that's a big if Shane came into my company, Shane would never wrestle another match again. The most I would let Shane do on screen is be a on-screen authority figure. Because it would definitely be an upgrade to Christopher Daniels, no question about that. But bro, I just can't get over the possibility, man. Like the possibility of like him being.
We got breaking news. Shout out to Matt Lopez who keeps us up to date. He said he sent it to you as well. Mm-hmm. I just happened to look in here. Shane McMahon gives his statement about meeting with Tony Khan via Bully Ray. Tony and I were connected through a mutual friend, and we had a great meeting. We talked about things, but mostly about our shared love for the business and the rewards and challenges of working with family. I congratulated him on the 5-year anniversary of AEW and look forward to how he evolves the business moving forward. Didn't say nothing else, but he's talking nice. Sean, you look worried, bro.
I'm extremely worried. I'm worried about the future of AEW. Don't let this guy. You know what? And you know this about me because we're friends. Shane is my favorite McMahon. Shane is absolutely my favorite McMahon. I've loved Shane McMahon since 1998. Do not bring a McMahon into here. Do not bring. I'm. You know what? I'm making a statement now. I was 50-50. I'm going all the way with it. Do not hire or bring in a McMahon. Do not. It's going to be the worst. No, I'm convinced this is a setup, man. There's something. This doesn't make any sense. Like it better, Tony Khan.
But Sean, did he see his heir apparent blow up in front of his eyes? The weird question is, what was his motivators for coming back in these later years for WrestleMania 32, 33? Like, what was his motivator then? He got to be back on screen. He got to, do a little bit of that, but he was only like a talent. He wasn't in any executive roles. What do you, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to the chat here. No, but Sean, listen to me though. But Tony getting him is giving him flex for more money, which is what he needs. This is like a weird time to need more money and need ratings. And it's like,
Conrad. No.
I'm just pointing out that there are positives.
I'm not saying you're doing your job. You're doing your job, and I'm doing my job, which is telling the truth. No. This has only let's play the percentages, Conrad. There's one way this can go well. There are many ways this can go really, really bad.
Look in my eyes.
I mean, you want to talk about an invasion? You want to talk about all the figures of speech and the catchphrases, letting the hen in the hen house or the wolf in the hen house or whoever's in the hen house that's not supposed to be there, bruh. No. If I'm going on record right now, if Tony Khan brings in a McMahon, we will be talking about AEW being out of business in 3 years or less.
Man.
Or WWE owning AEW. Do not do it. Oh my! I wasn't thinking about. You see how calm I was? I'm not usually like this. On Wednesday nights, I'm usually chilling, laying back, maybe commenting on everything pro wrestling. No.
But I want you to think about this some more. I'm going to bring up something else for you. That's another good point if you get them.
Conrad, I'm nervous. This is bad.
Rob says he doesn't need their cash. He needs their cachet.
Oh my God.
Matt Lopez and Ori have said the same thing, which is Shane McMahon at AEW could be a fox in the hen house issue.
Can I get spiritual on you for 2 seconds?
Go ahead.
When the devil shows you who he is, believe him. You know their reputation as a family. They will cut your throat, watch you bleed, and laugh. Do not bring that into your company.
I love that came back around to the end of the show. Jeff Jarrett's 57, just saying. But then again, hold on here. Ever heard of Fox in the Hen House? No more Shane matches ever. Shane would be in AEW for a year, 2 years. NXT is going to be the second best version of Dynamite 5 years ago, like the Nose did with ROH. The Wolf always turns. Is this an AEW TNA move? Deanna, this is different. I'm going to tell you why. Because Shane McMahon has something that TNA doesn't have. Sure, to anybody who wants to talk to Tony can talk to Tony. But do you know what Shane has? Knowledge of these people. Oh, you want to talk to Minute Maid Man? Yeah, I know what he likes. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to say. I'll get him in here. I guarantee you, if you really want him, I'll tell you what he wants. And this is what you say when he says this, you do that. I watched my father do it a bunch of times with him. He can provide you some of that stuff. Some of those big names that are scared to. Oh, I'm cool with Randy. Yeah, I can get Randy to come over. Oh, Roman, I worked a couple matches with him. Let me call him. That contract's coming up, right? Not saying that it's possible, but what if it becomes possible? He can lead you to some of he can open some doors that I think people won't go into.
And he can also
close them.
He can also infect your company with a lethal dose of poison that will put you out of business.
This is true. This is true. What's best for business, pal? He said, you pulling a Regal. Can you opt out for my son? TK needs to stay away from those McMahons. He comes off as having an obsession with the WWE. Focus on making your company a true alternative. T-Ferg, I'm going to ask you this question then. This is the question I have for all AEW fans. How are the ratings going to go up now? He signed everybody. There's no one left to sign. Is it Michael Oku? Like, is that who he needs to sign from Rev Pro? Is there anyone in New Japan that's the next big star that he's going to take right now? You see what I'm saying, Sean? There's nothing. Sean and me have laid this out. Clash of the Podcast on Mondays. The devil storyline. When Sean said it, it broke my heart. It was the first time I was like, this dude is 1,000% correct, and I can't think of any answers to like fight back. There was no other conspiracy. If it's not CM Punk, it's going to come off as a disappointment because it's got to be MJF or Adam Cole. And where does that leave us? Yep. And there were no more surprises. There's no more Okadas. There's no more Will Ospreays. You've got them. You've got the best roster. I'm not even joking. I still feel they have the better roster.
They do.
What are you going to do? There's nothing else you could do. What do you dump more money into production? Oh no, that's going to make 1 million people turn it on. It's not.
Well, you know what? What's more important, winning every week or your soul? Because I'm taking it deep right now, bro. You get into bed with the McMahons, you're like you're forfeiting your integrity. Who's gonna respect Tony Khan if he does that? I know I wouldn't. I mean, that you talk about selling out. You're bringing in bro. Jesus Christ.
Matt brings up my other point. Who knows what's going to go down with the Grant and Gomez case? If it gets too hot, will Gomez snitch to save, or who will snitch with the Gomez case to save their own backside? That is true. One story from him ends everybody.
Oh, wipes everything out. It's like a tornado.
That's why people are taking his side. Because remember at first, hey, pal, I'm against him. I'm a victim in this too. Shut up. And I know, and me and Sean have avoided talking about this, but now he's on his side. And the company is also on their side. All he has to say is they knew everything. Who? All of them. Nick, Stephanie, Hunter, and it's over.
And he would sell his own family out. He would.
TKO dumps them, but how does he feel though? Does he feel like he's been set? I think you have to be smart enough to know you've been set up. Now, when it's time for me to get on that stand, which they probably are like, please just let this end in mediation and let it be done. But if he has to go up there, okay, time to put on my best performance.
We're talking about an OJ level trial right now. Like if this goes to like, we're talking about CNN. We're talking about this is going to be massive.
Or does he have a heart to think I could be affecting my grandkids if I do this? Or does he not care? You burnt me, I'm burning you. Who is this guy though? You don't know.
If I were a betting man, I would think Vince McMahon doesn't care about anybody but Vince McMahon.
But is he still like that? You know what I mean? Like without the business, maybe the business made him ruthless. I don't know.
Yeah, if I were a betting man, no, I would think he cares about himself.
What is it that never changes their colors? You know what I mean? Like I forgot what the animal is.
A McMahon.
A McMahon never changes their true colors. There's always more. Sign up with AEW, bring in some WWE talent, and start an invasion. I don't think they got the juice to do that.
And I want to go on record. The only reason I'm actually torn about this, I'm 90-10 that it's a bad idea. The only reason there's a 10% for me is because I like Shane. Shane comes across, obviously I don't know him. Shane comes across as different from the rest, if you understand what I mean. He seems like a halfway decent, like you can see a lot of Vince and Stephanie. Like a lot of Vince and Stephanie. I'm starting to see a lot of Vince and Triple H. But Shane always seemed like he was different.
I think he is different. Shane liked hip-hop music.
Right.
Shane is the different one. I think Stephanie does too, listening to like some of the songs she likes. But
I think Shane is different. But it's such a risk. Like you're
cool.
You're literally right. But you're banking on Shane you're banking on Shane being totally against his own family.
Could he help them too from a production standpoint? Like I know he was a referee. We know this going into his past.
He can help them in every way possible. That's not the question, Conrad. Shane McMahon would take AEW to new heights if it's a genuine thing. It's not about if he can do well for the company. Of course he could. We have to figure out if he's trying to set us up, man. I think it was Emily talking about what if he gets ownership shares and then turns the board against, if there's a board, or turns the whatever against TK.
Well, listen, but this is what I'm saying. I think TK's smart enough never to give up enough to where he can lose it. This is the same thing that Gomez did. He made sure he had super shares, they're called in the business world, where his are worth more than yours because he's never giving up control. People should have seen it eventually. We all thought he would one day, but then it just never happened.
Matter of fact, I take it AEW is private. What I'm trying to say is at the end of the day, though, you let somebody in your boardroom that can help make decisions, and then all of a sudden people start liking you a little less, start liking him a little more. Oh, maybe Shane should be in charge. This happens every day in corporate America.
I think that was part of the issues with Punk and the Bucks, and this is the issue I brought up with that, and I still stand on this. If you are a bigger star than people who are in the elite and they have say-sos in that boardroom, who's to say, why would Roman Reigns ever come over there? Right. Why would I go over there? If you have a problem with me, you're just going to kick me out too. Right. Or you're going to veto my ideas. So why would I come over here? That's an issue. They have to squash that. And is Shane going to play that? Shane might be like, no, you're getting disciplined. But TK also needs someone to be the bad guy. Maybe he's like, yo, you could be the bad guy for me. Like I said, we don't know what Shane's role could be in this. It's kind of scary, though. But I do think they've upped their money. I think WBD, they're like, I need a little more. Because we're talking about Shane McMahon, not SummerSlam. But tomorrow we're going to be talking WWE. At 8:35.
8:35 on Hub. Make sure y'all meet us there, man. It's going to be crazy. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Me and Sean will be there tomorrow night. We're going to provide some excellent talking points about World Wrestling Entertainment, and this might even be an interesting talking point on that show. Maybe we'll talk about it on Clash. Let Sean sleep on it a little bit. Maybe he'll go 80-20 by Monday. Maybe it'll
be 85-15 by Monday.
But I want you thinking about that all week at work when you get those down moments in time. Like, man, what if Shane did run it? Like,
we will be talking obviously throughout the weekend. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yes. Tomorrow, though, 8:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you need to be over to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. I'm putting the link in the chat. If you're watching after the fact, it's in the live chat.
Go over there. Subscribe now, right?
Why not? Hit the bell, too. Hit the bell and come talk some wrestling with us tomorrow, man. Me and Sean love talking wrestling. Sean, thank you for filling in here at the last second.
It's a pleasure. It's an honor and a privilege, man.
Sean, I'm going to give you the honor of taking us out because that's what you do best, sir.
I appreciate that, man. So, listen, I'm not going to do too much. I just want to say thank you to Conrad. I want to say thank you to Derek, my guy Derek. I want to thank the chat as well. It's been an honor to be here. This is the mothership. Don't let Conrad tell you any different. This show is the mothership, and I'm so excited to have been a part of it on a Wednesday night, man. So, on behalf of my tag team partner, Conrad Cushman, on behalf of my guy Derek and myself, Sean Hubbard, we'll see you on tomorrow night on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, and we'll see you on Monday night for Clash of the Podcast. And then right back here, Derek and Conrad will be back for another episode of Everything Pro Wrestling. God bless. Be encouraged. Evil never prevails.